The drums of war within the All Progressives Congress APC at the national level became silent on Monday immediately after the Progressive Governors Forum met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House Abuja on the crisis. What of the drums of war in Edo, the home state of Oshomole, where the elders believe that Governor Obaseki's disregard for elders of the party has been making peace an impossible mission? Paul Ohabamu is the Edo State Commissioner for Information and Orientation. He reacts to the allegation leveled against his principal.
Recent happenings within the All Progressives Congress APC create the impression that the crisis in the Edo State chapter of the party would be resolved soon. While monitoring the trend, Clever TV discovered that the recurring decimal in the grievance of Oshomole's group is that Obaseki became governor and dumped the elders of the party, who claimed they were instrumental to his victory.
I think the star is the man. He made it clear, even during campaigns, that he will use the resources of the state for the people, not the democratic oligarchs, as they want it to be. The days of just throwing money and empowering a few at the expense of the majority is past. He made it clear during campaign. And in any case, Governor Obaseki believes that the wealth of a state, of a society, is not, measured by the affluence of those in authority or the political overlords, but the productivity and industriousness of the people, the ordinary people, majority of the people. This is what he's doing, and they are not happy. And when they say he has abandoned leaders, elders of the party, who are the elders? Who made them elders in the first place? Because they are opportune to be a chairman or a leader. Everyone is a leader in his own right. And Obaseki has said that there is no way he cannot share the patrimony, resources of the people for a few, to a few individuals. He is there to serve Edo people, and Edo people are happy over this. It shows that all these quarrel borders on ego and insular pursuits, selfish pursuits. If you say you are not giving me money, some people said that they are not called for lunch. This man, the governor of Edo State now presently, does not believe in jamboree, those things. He's not a surface person, he's a deep person. And he wants to see a problem, not looking at the first question without considering the why issue first. He must look at basis before going to the superstructure. He came on board and discovered that he had education to, of course, to attack, to deal with educational problem, and an obligation to do it, even though there was Red Roof Revolution, which Oshomole put in place. And he set out to do it by bringing first the basis, which is basic education. Because once the basis is right, all other things built on top, the basis, the superstructure, will be okay. The Red Roof Revolution they sang with, which Oshomole put in place, turned out to have only addressed the form. And Governor Obaseki saw the need to look at the content. Because you had Red Roof, it became a white sepulchre, DC dwelling in a gorgeous palace. No corresponding brain powers. Our teachers were merely parboiled teachers who were deficient not just in their core subjects, but lack ability to stimulate creativity in their pupils. But now, with training and all, you now have teachers who are taking care of the children, and educational standard has improved. So that learning poverty has been cured. So when they say you don't look at the elder, let's look at the film side. Now you abandon the elders, you abandon the leaders, the so-called democratic oligarchs, and he has faced the little people, the ordinary people. Don't forget that these little men, they are the jury men and women of the ballot. These little men and women, they are the beautiful damsels of democracy. They determine a lot of things on election day. This is why the former British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, the man who loved and hated democracy, even made it clear that at the bottom of all the attributes paid to democracy is the little man. The little men who were 10 in Oshomole's place have suspended him. And that suspension has been ratified by the court. So they have shown the magnitude of their littleness. So Governor Obaseki came, he simply put measures, disruptive and innovative measures. in place, which altered the old order and put in place a new order. Of course, we have natural luddites, those who are conservative to change. After Ned Lud, natural luddites, they don't want any change. And Obaseki is doing it so that it can favor majority of the people, because it is the greatest happiness of the greatest number that matters in democracy. So for Edo people, it is one mindset. The mindset is one, that Obaseki must come a second time. Oshomole was governor in this state, and no one dealt him. He was more than a colossus. He is no longer a governor. He wants to replicate what he was doing as governor now. But I told him in one interview that you cannot have the best of two worlds. You cannot. There is nowhere in the world that we talk of permanent champion. What exists in the world is current champion. And Obaseki is the current champion. So these are the issues. They now brought out all manner of people, former thieves, his enemies. I don't know when he encountered this epiphany that is a Yamu you have called a thief who poured acid on people in university has become your friend without bridal beginning. Then Odubu you called Diabolica who wanted to kill you is now your darling. And Ariabe you said stole money from the military is now your friend. So I consider all these laws, all these elements as negative alternatives. Obaseki may have rivals but no equals, because his own standards are different. As to what you put resources of Edo State to, the use you put it to, that is where Obaseki departs from these elements, from these men. Because when it comes to this, he stands alone, and he stands with the people. To use it to develop infrastructure-wise, you look at the economy of the state is booming. The economy of Edo State is booming. He started paying minimum wage, and he paid on the 24th of the month. And since that time, he has continued to maintain this. So when we want to juxtapose between Obaseki's achievements and the 8 years of Oshomole, you know that these people are enemies of progress, enemies of the state, because as an incumbent who has done so well, he ought to be given the right of first refusal. But because some people are playing gods, they got it, someone else must not get it. So they want to truncate the exercise. And that is devilish. It's idolatry, because they believe in power and they want to use it to its full. But they don't know that this power you use has its own dynamics. And it's consuming them now, one after the other.
Clever TV recollects vividly the efforts put into Obaseki's campaign by Comrade Adams Oshomole, which left the electorate wondering if Comrade was coming for third term.
Show Baba, now you really need to. Yeah. And those people say that you really want to. Come and take over, now you really need to. As our next governor.
The elders are therefore saying, verily, verily, I say to Obaseki, you are biting the fingers that fed you.
No fingers fed him. Unless they say supporting. The truth of the matter, let me just put it plain. Obaseki left the office. Oshomole was still ruling for some time, but he saw the need to be a governor both in office and in power. You know, he saw the need to be a governor both in office and in power. When you can oppress, subjugate anyone, and it is successful, it is good. But when someone can shake off the yoke, it is better. If you quarrel with somebody who has collected back his powers, then there will be no justification for taking those powers from him in the first place. Obaseki only fought back. And in fighting back, people say he's biting the fingers that fed him. Which fingers? Which fingers? So he must fold his hands to see the born issues of his days pass by. All federal appointments, Oshomole will do it. Primaries will come, it will determine what will happen. And you have a governor. There is no terror in Oshomole's threat. He has seen it now. There is no terror in Oshomole's threat. I now liken Oshomole to that 17th century King Leopold of Belgium, who history described as a great king in an insignificant kingdom. So, that's it. So it's not a question of biting the fingers. Question of, putting the fingers right in his mouth so that it does not injure. You can want to feed someone and still, touch the wrong side of his mouth. You don't feed and thrust your hands into his throat. He's putting it right so that he can digest, can chew well and digest. That is precisely what has happened.
Edo governorship election, as announced by Nigeria's electoral body INEC, comes up on Saturday, September 19, 2020. Edward Idoni reporting for Clever Television.